Hi, welcome to Jurisearch Academy's YouTube channel. Today we will be talking about last week revision tips, in which I will be telling you 10 important topics that can be asked in your CLAT PG 2024 examination. So now that you only have 4 to 5 days remaining for your exam, make sure that you're only revising your concepts and make sure that you revise at least these 10 topics because they have been in the news in the last 1.5 years. So the chances of being asked in your examination are very high. So let's start and see what are these important 10 topics. Starting with the first topic, that is the issue of same sex marriage. So make sure that you revise the case of Suprio versus Union of India, the recent judgment that came out last month, in which a 5 judge bench held important findings on same sex marriage in India. So you need to be aware of the landmark judgment starting from the NAS Foundation case to Navteej Singh Johar and the Suprio versus Union of India case. Make sure that your concepts of Special Marriage Act are clear. Make sure that your concepts in family law in general relating to marriage and divorce are clear. And make sure that you have a good understanding of the Navteej Johar judgment and Nalsa versus Union of India. So this can be a very important and possible area that can be tested in your exam. Coming to the second topic, we have state recognition under international law. We know that every CLAT PG exam asks questions on public international law. Like it is literally one of the most important subjects in which you can be very certain that at least one passage will be asked. So the concept of state recognition under international law becomes important because of the recent conflict in which Israel and Palestine are in conflict, and the very foundation of Israel as a state and how it got to be recognized by different other countries becomes important. So you need to know what are the basic principles of state recognition under international law. Coming to the third important topic is Article 142 of the Constitution. Now, if you've been following the news, you would know that in the last 1 to 2 years, Article 142 has been invoked multiple times by the Supreme Court for giving different kinds of remedy. If we look at recent development, then usually Article 142 is used in family law proceedings whenever the court has to give divorce on the ground of irretrievable breakdown of marriage. But other than that, also, there have been multiple instances of the usage of Article 142. So make sure that your concepts of Article 142 and the landmark cases on this point are clear. Coming to the fourth topic for revision will be remission under CRPC. So recently in the Bilkis Bano case, some rape convicts were actually released by the government under the remission policy, which came into news quite a lot, and it is a very conflicting issue which is still under review by the Supreme Court. So in that context, the whole concept of remission under the criminal law by the government and the rules that govern that and the landmark and recent cases on that point become relevant because this is also an area which is yet to be tested in CLAT PG. And if we look at previous year patterns, then criminal law, especially CRPC, has become recently important. So make sure that you revise this topic for your CLAT exam. Coming to the fifth topic, we have law relating to demonetization, because recently in the Vivek Narayan Sharma case, the Supreme Court had decided upon the validity of the 2017 demonetization exercise that happened. So you need to be aware that under which law demonetization is done, what are the different ways of demonetization, and especially what was held in the Vivek Narayan Sharma case. Next topic for revision is law relating to dying declaration. We know that criminal law is important, and in criminal law, under Evidence Act, dying declaration is a very important topic. Recently, there was also a judgment of Abhishek Sharma versus State NCT of Delhi, in which the court clarified the admissibility of dying declaration. So make sure that you're revising Section 32 of the Indian Evidence Act to understand this concept. Coming to the next topic, we have Speaker's power to disqualify. Now, this has become important recently because of the judgment of Subhash Desai versus Principal Secretary. So, you need to know the role of the Speaker in the parliamentary setup. What are his powers and functions? How is he appointed? How can he be removed? And what powers does the Speaker have under the 10th schedule? So, if you read the Subhash Desai judgment, you will get to understand that the judgment was mostly about the speaker's power to disqualify when his own motion of removal is underway. So make sure that you are revising your concepts on the power of speaker, and while you're at it, also make sure that you revise about the chairman, the deputy speaker, and the deputy chairman as well. Coming to the next topic, which can be important for you guys, is the law on war and conflict. Because of the ongoing Israel Hamas conflict, it becomes important to revise your concepts on the international position on war and conflict, especially humanitarian law. So make sure that you revise this and also see what is happening in Russia and Ukraine at the moment, and be aware of all the recent developments with respect to this aspect of international law. Coming to the next topic, we have right to reproductive autonomy under constitutional law. So recently there was a judgment of X versus Union of India, in which the Supreme Court earlier granted the permission to abort to a married woman, but later on it overturned that. So in this also, while invoking this second jurisdiction, Supreme Court actually invoked Article 142. So that is also one instance of the usage of Article 142. Other than this, last year the Supreme Court gave a revolutionary judgment in X versus Principal Secretary, in which the Supreme Court extended some benefits which were only available earlier to married women to unmarried women as well. So the whole concept of right to reproductive autonomy under Article 21, as well as the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act, become important for your exam. Now, coming to the last topic that you need to revise is the law of divorce and the power of court. Because recently there was a judgment in which the Supreme Court has clarified some position with respect to irretrievable breakdown of marriage and the role of courts in that. So, since there is no legislative clarity on acceptance of irretrievable breakdown of marriage as a ground of divorce, so the Supreme Court had on multiple occasions invoked Article 142. So make sure that you're revising the concept of divorce, especially irretrievable breakdown of marriage and also mutual consent divorce. So this brings us to the end of our video. We hope that your exam goes well. So good luck, and if you like this video, please like and share and subscribe to our YouTube channel.